If you're an introvert entrepreneur online, or you're an introvert knowledge expert, in other words, you offer your knowledge, your wisdom, or your expertise, and you solve a major business or a major life problem for your ideal client, and you have to speak with them in order for you to close the deal, make the sale, get them to hire you, or as I like to say it, in order for you to qualify them to be able to work with you, there's a problem area that you're probably familiar with. If again, you do this to solve a major business or a major life problem, and you have to speak with your prospects before they can become your clients. And that challenge is not being able to come across as trustworthy enough, credible enough, or not having enough authority. And they're adding to that this whole issue of, as people call it, the brand, although I have my perspective on the brand. So if you fit into that classification, that qualification, you're an expert, introvert expert, but people just, they understand, they get you, they see you, they hear about you, and you get to the point where you're talking about how you can help them and, closing the sale so that you can start helping them, but it's just not happening. Maybe they say they need to go and think about it. They need to speak with their spouse, their partner, whatever it is. After they've been through all these steps in order for you to be speaking, there's something that probably is the problem. And it's not unique to you, but it's unique to many introvert entrepreneurs, coaches, consultants, and experts and service business owners online that I'm going to give you a solution to today. Hello and welcome. I'm Bio, and I'm the founder of QuietExperts.com and the creator of the Quiet Experts method for introvert knowledge experts and introvert entrepreneurs online who share their knowledge and expertise to solve a major business or a major life problem for clients. And what I do generally is I help introvert entrepreneurs maintain their energy, get double the number of their new prospects and new business in 60 days without feeling frustrated with technology or getting overwhelmed. But more importantly, it's the energy bit, so that you, just like me, which is why I started this whole thing, you don't feel stressed out. You don't feel you need to shut yourself away from the whole world just to get your energy back. So that's what I do in a nutshell. You can learn more about this at QuietExperts.com. But for today, in this short video, let's focus on the question, why is it that you can go through all the necessary steps and get to the point where you're absolutely sure in your mind you can help a prospect, you can help them get the results, you help them eliminate the problems that they have currently that they do not want, and help them get the results that they do want but they do not currently have. You know for absolutely sure that you can do that, and you're talking to the right person, and it's the right time, but it just is not happening. Well, it's a unique problem in the selling world, but more unique for us introvert entrepreneurs. But what I'm about to show you is used by absolutely every single introvert entrepreneur and introvert knowledge expert online, period. You will not find a successful introvert entrepreneur online. This is someone who uses the business office, the online resources to attract, engage, and convert their ideal or dream clients. You won't find a single one that doesn't use what I'm about to share with you. That's how confident I am that what I'm about to talk about works. But what is the problem? Well, the problem is not with you specifically not being able to deliver, because remember, the assumption here is that you're an expert. You can solve a problem for a dream client, provided you're talking to the right person, provided you're working with the right person, whether it's in the context of a business or in the context of an individual. You can eliminate the problem they have that they don't want and get them the results that they do want. So let's just use that as a basis. If you don't, then that's a different issue. But I'm going to assume that you have. Well, why is this a problem? It's a problem because, number one, you don't come across as a brand. And I talk about brands in other videos, but you don't come across as a brand, and that's your individual brand. You don't come across as professional or organized. You're not coming across as trustworthy. You're just like everyone else out there who does exactly what you claim to do. And so there's no credibility. That is the problem. So if you were talking to me, number one, and I didn't feel that your brand was coming through, and when I talk about brand, I don't mean you're being fake. I don't mean you're trying to be the sort of person that you think people need you to be in order for you to be, in quote, a brand. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about you being who you are. If you're funny, you're funny. If you're quirky, you're quirky. And that comes through. If you're more of the serious type, you're serious. If, like me, you're more of the laid back type, you're laid back. That is your real brand. But today is not about the brand. But what we're talking about here will help you establish a brand, and then you can work on that even better. A brand is effectively about being authentic. And that's just it. So that is the problem. No believability, no credibility, no trust. You don't come across as professional or organized to your dream clients. So what is the solution to this? Well, there are some simple steps. Number one, you've got to avoid doing what everyone else is doing. And what is that? You've got to avoid telling people. Instead, you have to show them. That is the first thing. Don't just tell, show. Let me give you some examples. I have these here very quickly. When I talk to people, I actually draw how I'm going to get them from point A to point B. And remember, point A is the problems that you have right now that you don't want. And point B are the results you want that you don't have. In the Quiet Experts method, there are 3 steps. You've got to have your pillars in place. You've got to be positioned correctly in the eyes of those you want to serve. And third and lastly, you've got to have a presence in the eyes of those that you want to serve. So it's not about being present and being positioned in the eyes of everyone out there. And this is just an example of what I draw when I'm talking with dream clients or dream prospects. Here's another example of exactly the same thing. Now you can see that it's got the 3 steps again. I drew this when speaking with a prospective client, well, someone who's now a client. And by the way, this is a simple formula for you to be able to attract clients in the $5,000 range upwards. Now, if you want to attract clients that are in the $3,000 range, then by all means, that's what you need to do. But you're underselling yourself because you're selling something of true value to people that actually want their problem solved. Now, those two are actually, they're the same thing. This is my visual representation of the Quiet Experts method that you'll find at quietexperts.com and on our Facebook page. It's exactly the same thing. So what you're doing is you're showing people that you know what you talk about. In having a visual representation, the power and the beauty of having a visual representation that represents the major steps that you'll take people through is, number one, you are coming across as a brand, because no one's going to have what you have. No one has what I have here. So you're coming across as a brand. You're coming across, and the brand piece, I mean that you're coming across as professional and organized. That is what, being based on who you are. That's what I mean when I talk about a brand, okay? So it's not about being fake or false or trying to seem like you're bigger than you are. No. I'm a small organization, but I use exactly the same approach that I'm showing you here for small to medium-sized business client marketing. I use it for entrepreneurs, solo professionals, and exactly the same thing when I'm prospecting for Fortune 500 industry-leading clients. And you can look me up online under Fortune 500 Business Coach. This works exactly the way I'm telling you. So there is no excuse. And finally, this is something here. This is another format. And here, I'm just talking about one subsection of that, what I just showed you now. I drew this when I was talking with someone recently. And what it is taken the first of the 3 main elements of Quiet Experts method. And I've taken the first one, so 1.1, and I'm saying here that it's more important for you to get clear about the problem you solve, making sure it's a big enough problem, and you're planning on solving it for clients, whether it be businesses or individuals that are motivated and looking to solve the problem now. What I just showed you there, again, going back here, is just this point here, okay? It is exactly the same thing as is here. It's exactly the same thing that is here. So the point I'm trying to get across to you is, number one, don't just tell, you should show. Figure out the number of steps that are involved in your system and create a visual representation. throughout all your marketing, everything you're doing, you should be talking to that visual representation. And thirdly, you should never be in a situation where you're talking to a prospect who has qualified to speak with you. You should never have a discussion without having that available, because that is what helps you build that brand awareness. It's what helps you come across as professional and organized, which in effect lowers and in many cases eliminates the buying resistance and creates that trust and the credibility, irrespective of whether you're just starting out or you've been out for quite a while. Because as I tell my clients, credibility is about believability and not about how long you've been out there. So if that's just one element of, the whole approach that you can use if you're an introvert entrepreneur online, if you're an introvert knowledge expert and you share your knowledge, your wisdom, or your expertise to solve a major business or a major problem for your dream clients. If you want to know more about it, feel free to get in contact so we can have a chat and see, how I can help you and what you might need to tweak within your business. Now, hopefully this has been useful. Please feel free to share it with other introvert entrepreneurs online that you're aware of. There are no resources out there for introvert entrepreneurs online specifically, or for introvert experts online. So I've taken the lead on doing this, but I can't do it alone. So that's all for now, and I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.